Right. You may have a prime you're working for, a larger contractor that's very flush, doing well, right? And if they trust you and they're not paying attention, that bad guy could impersonate you using your system credentials that they pilfered, right, et cetera. So there's all kinds of scenarios. I guess what we're trying to get across is every business's data is important. Hi, I'm Eric.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to the Cyber Sitrep, the Cyber Situation Report. That was almost as good as last time.
Almost.
It's getting a little bit later in the day.
Tracking our search, a few of these are recorded each day, and you can tell which one came first.
As much as we'd love to bug Dave on a weekly basis, I just don't think we have the time to do that. So we try to bunch them all together. And
nor do we, really.
Well, that's true, especially now, right?
Yeah, we got to get these things going and
rolling. The doom and apocalypse coming if you're a government contractor. So speaking of that, Mike, another topic obviously near and dear to your heart because you thought of it is...
Yeah, my business is too small to need cybersecurity. I hear that so many times.
I know.
So, we're the cybersecurity crew. You of course are like, well, duh. They're going to talk about it and say everyone needs it.
Of course you need it.
But do you need it, right? And I hear all the time from cybersecurity people.
But hold on. Let's go ahead and answer that question. Do small businesses need cybersecurity?
All businesses need cybersecurity.
Thank you.
You as an individual. Think of yourself as your own individual small business.
Exactly.
You, the person.
Sole proprietorship.
Sole proprietorship of you needs cybersecurity.
You need it.
And it's all about, again, size, capacity, those kind of things. But you definitely need it. And I hear most small businesses talk about, well, we have antivirus. I've got McAfee, Norton, Malwarebytes, you name it.
Auto updates are turned on. I'm good to go.
We're good.
Right?
So that means...
No, that's not right.
It just means that your computer is looking for malicious software.
I gave him the layup, everybody, and he just missed it.
Oh, I did.
You did, totally. Sorry.
What was the layup? You forgot the layup too.
Already.
See, this is where we are.
I was looking at you. Oh goodness!
But all systems need more than just checking to see if you have malware on it, right? Because there's so many different ways that you can be attacked and approached that you need to have more than just this file is bad.
Right.
So, I'm thinking like, why do they feel that they don't need cybersecurity?
Right.
Many just say, well, I'm too small.
Yeah.
Who wants to come after my wee little company?
Right.
I have nothing of value.
Wee little company. Did you do a little Scottish in there?
I did.
That was awesome.
My wee little company. So they just don't feel they have, like my company doesn't have millions of dollars, right?
So
I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm too small.
So what possibly could a bad person want from my organization?
Why do they want that? And then they also say things like, well, I also don't have any information.
Yeah, I'm boring, right?
What data do I have that they would want? And then also they would say, my online footprint. Like no one knows I exist. I'm just I'm a small little shop. I'm a wee little shop on the corner, Eric. And I have no wares but this before me, right?
I love it.
And so
I see whiskey in our near future.
Oh,
I do. You're
coming.
making me thirsty for some good scotch.
So, that's the things I hear. Are you hearing any other small business excuses?
You hit the major ones. I mean, that's the thing, right? We're not important. We don't have anything of value. We don't have enough revenue. Nobody cares about us. And, what we have to remind our customers on, especially those that are saying that, is, you may not have anything of value to the bad guy to pass downstream, but a lot of these people just do it for we call it the lulls, right? The laughs, where they just like causing chaos and making people have bad days. And I hate to break it down and make it that banal, but it's true, right?
It can happen that way.
They laugh. We took that system down, and now that person isn't going to recover, and they're going to go out of business. There's some people that just hate the world that do this. So that's another reason why you're going to be targeted as a small business, because they don't care.
Right, and there's that plethora of bad people out there that are, to your point, just I don't care. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it just for laughs.
Right.
Others are doing it for money, and they don't care if it's big money, little money.
Or they're cutting their teeth, getting their chops, learning their skills.
Right. Or they're a nation state that might want your computer to be the attacking computer to someone else.
Yeah.
Right? There's so many different ways.
Exactly.
So, when we talk about why criminals are looking at a small business, like all those excuses and why they may not, come to bear, is if you have any money at all, you're a target.
Yeah, they want it.
That's right. The cost of an attack is next to nothing. They have ransomware for sale on the dark web for $7. So I can say for $7 I can attack your small business and make $500. I made a profit.
Yeah.
Now multiply that times 100 small businesses. I'm doing okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good profit.
Right? You're doing all right. Yeah.
For $7.
$7 you can get a ransomware in a packet as a service.
Yeah. Wow.
So
with tech support.
With tech support. Yeah, it's a
crazy.
service.
I know.
Right?
He's not making this up, guys.
So when you say I don't have any money, you if you're in business, hopefully you do have something, you know what I mean? You might not be even turning a big profit, but if there's revenue in and revenue out, that money's there and they want it. They're going to try to get it the best way they can. And then I always think about, coming up with an analogy, and I think of my neighborhood. And my house is Fort Knox. I have security cameras and lights, and you come within an inch of my house, and you're lit up. And you're
vicious canine ready to pounce,
and then a big one too.
Yeah,
I've got the vicious little. I have the big dog that's standing beside her.
I was being inclusive. It doesn't have to be big.
You would think.
I've seen some really mean little dogs.
Yeah, she's really a little mean Chihuahua.
Oh my God!
You think the world's going to end, and then the big dog's like, "You want to come in?" So. But that house is not as easy or as juicy of a target as the house that has the windows open.
Exactly.
Right? So if you have your ADT ring signs and all this stuff saying, hey, my house is protected, and the house next door is like, our windows are open because, we don't care.
Right.
A criminal is going to take the easiest route.
Yeah, always.
So again, you small business who says, I don't need cybersecurity, I haven't done anything. You're just that easy target to grab, maybe not big money, but some money from.
Sure, but I think you bring up the great point. It's the aggregation effect, right? That really makes that a viable avenue, right, of attack. It's not just you in solo; it's everybody together getting that pass through of $100 here, $500 there. That all of a sudden, you're pretty flush with cash.
I referenced Ocean's 11. The Ocean 11 films,
right
I'm like, that's a big target, right? That's what we see on TV.
Right.
But it's got a lot of moving parts. You have to be really good at what you're doing. Right. And you score big. You get the $1 million hit that we read about and see on the news.
Yeah.
But how many convenience stores were robbed last night?
Exactly.
We don't have those stats. But if you add up all the convenience stores that were robbed, they're making pretty decent money. Now, in the real world it's individuals. But online, it could be a single, very few number of hacker groups hitting those 1,000 convenience stores
absolutely.
At night. That's you, the small business.
I'm going to have to remember that. I'm going to use that as a test case for my AI shakedown.
Okay. Yeah,
see if I can get any data back on that that's plausible.
So, yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And then when I think about the footprint and people say, well, I have a small little website. We don't sell anything off of it. I've got a small store.
Right.
Well, you registered with the state. Right, so your data, your company is available, and if you look at what you're registered, it usually has a name, your name.
But that data is not important, Mike.
And then going into data, exactly, that data allows your company to be seen. So you think you're small and no one knows you, they'll find you.
Sure.
Google knows you, and if Google knows you, bad guys know you. And then the data. Oh, I have no data. There's nothing for me to worry about.
Right.
You have clients. You have your social security number. You have to have some data, your financial data, your logins to your bank.
Right.
There's data thereafter.
Well, right. And, a corollary to that is maybe you don't have anything of value, but maybe some of your customers do. Right. And so you're used as a pivot point to be able to try and compromise those other people in your network of connections.
Exactly.
To get into their systems to eventually get to that larger payday you're talking about. Right. So
you have suppliers. You have, as you say, there's tons of different.
Right. You may have a prime you're working for, a larger contractor that's very flush, doing well, right? And if they trust you and they're not paying attention, that bad guy could impersonate you using your system credentials that they pilfered, right, et cetera. So there's all kinds of scenarios. I guess what we're trying to get across is every business's data is important, whether you're one person or 10,000.
Exactly right.
It's important. So just get that through your heads now, and we've done our job here for the Sitrep.
Exactly.
Mike, right?
Going back to that point of it doesn't cost a lot.
Right.
So if you're like, well, no one wants what I have, but it doesn't cost a lot to get what you have, then why not go for you, the easy, unprotected target versus a target that maybe did throw in some protections?
Right.
They're going to just scan and look for the easiest, quickest hit for the quickest amount of money and run.
Always.
So one of the stats that people aren't aware of, but I try to hype it all the time, is 60% of small businesses go out of business within 1 year after a breach. If you do some simple math on that, say you have 500 clients, you're a small business, and they might not be current clients, but your data set has 500 clients in it, and you get breached, no records are stolen. You're probably going to have to provide that letter that says, here's identity protection for those 500 records. You figure $20 a month, 12 months, times the 500 records, it's $120,000.
Right.
I've done the math.
Yeah, and Mike, to that point, is that a lot of companies, it seems to be a corollary, right? Companies that don't think they need security also don't think they need cybersecurity insurance.
Right. So
how are they going to pay for that $120,000, right?
Exactly
for the credit monitoring and the notification.
And that 120 is the I'm sorry to the 500 records you've lost. That's not fixing your system.
Right.
That's not any money they've stolen.
Exactly.
That's not your downtime. That's the mea culpa money.
Right.
And if you think, well, I just won't do that, I'll go out of business, the state may make you. In Colorado, if you lose 500 records or more,
that's the threshold.
The attorney general is the one.
Please check your state.
Exactly.
All states are slightly different. So
yeah, and Colorado has a pretty low limit of 500, but California has like no limit. It's you lose one, you're done.
Big difference there. So
yeah. So and then just so you know, small businesses, I've got personal accounts of people that this happened to. But as simple as a small business running QuickBooks. And so you have QuickBooks. We use QuickBooks.
Sure.
And this poor company lost their QuickBook credentials, in some way or fashion. Didn't dig in to find out why.
Yeah.
So you think, well, so what? Well, what they did was then they created an invoice.
The bad guys
did, paying out to an illicit overseas bank account, drained their bank account, because once you're in QuickBooks, if you look at your QuickBooks now, it'll tell you what you have in the bank.
Yep.
But sadly, that wasn't where it ended. Then they turned around and said, hey, here's my QuickBooks free loan, already pre-approved.
Awesome.
Filled it out, which could all be done online with no data needed because you're already inside the trusted system.
Trusted.
That's right.
Wow.
They took out a loan for the max amount, created another invoice, paid that money out of the bank account. And the sad part was, to your point, no cyber insurance. The cyber insurance that they had was kind of like, not for this.
Right, exactly.
You didn't get ransomware. This is you losing something.
Right.
The bank said, we didn't lose your money. QuickBooks did.
Right.
QuickBooks says, we didn't lose your money. The bank, exactly right. Let's all point to everyone else.
Man.
And so this business then went to go get a loan so they could stay in business. They couldn't get a loan because they had just taken out a loan.
Yeah, so
they had no credit.
Yikes. That's a bummer.
So that's the 60% that can go out of business. So, and that's any amount. Right. I didn't even mention dollar amounts because it doesn't matter. If you've got 200 in the bank and they can get in, they're going to do the 200 and get a loan for the 2,000 or whatever your max loan would be.
Yeah.
And they can make $2,500 like that from you and then disappear.
Yeah, in seconds, right?
Yep. So
I don't know about you guys, but it makes me kind of ill.
It does.
It does, literally.
It does.
I'm trying to not do that on camera, but
it is so it's a dangerous world out there. We have to be wary and just protect yourselves. So,
and on that note,
feel free to give us a call.
Yeah.
We're here to help.
And
as well as give advice.
Right. And if you don't know where to start, we do have some recorded sit reps.
We do.
On small business cybersecurity.
I was going to say, we have a whole series.
A plethora.
That's right, a plethora of episodes to go back and watch them. You said that earlier, and
it's stuck in my head, everybody. I love that. I love that phrase, that word.
So we have a plethora of information already available through the Cyber Sitrep.
Yep.
And then, feel free to leave a comment, reach out to us. We're happy to provide advice when we can. And it's not about having to spend all your money on cybersecurity,
Not at all.
but doing something with what you have. That's the advice I want to
be done at all price points, all budgets. There's a lot of great free stuff out there, that you are not actually the product on.
That's right.
that are good, right? And then there's all the way up to Cadillac. There's all kinds of leeway in between. So if you're not doing it, it's because you're lazy. And don't be lazy, please. Get in front of this.
And then if you want a funny video about it, we have our $1 a day sad dog video that I can free to share.
I love that video. We'll have to link that in Minion. We'll have to add that, please, sir, to the comment. So
that's right.
All right, guys. Well, with that, please reach out with any questions. Be sure to like, follow.
Exactly. And check out our episodes on cybersecurity for small businesses.
Yeah, I think we didn't call it defense in depth. I'm trying to remember the exact term we used. It's been a while since we've done it, but
it's a whole series on the things you can do for low to no cost.
Right.
To do cybersecurity. So improve from your antivirus and put some other protections in place.
Exactly. And with that, everybody, thank you so much for attending, and we will talk to you soon on the next Sitrep. Bye.
Hey, remember to like and follow us here on our podcast and YouTube channel. And we are coming to you from the Studio 809 Community Podcast Studio at the Next Us, which is a professional cooperative environment for small businesses here in downtown Colorado Springs. You should check them out.
Come check it out.